Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on the YouTube account and we wanted to look at two things. One being our Dragon IO. So over here, getting into the Dragon IO, the Dragon Forge trials have been completed. And at this point, we just got the rewards out of here and we cannot get any more summoning resources. So unfortunately, it is no more insignias for another week, which I've talked about before, but we are falling very, very far behind kind of building out these heroes and being able to make more progression. And we know there are a couple of them that are being used in different formations. Want to build out Hildwyn a little bit more, want to build out Gwen, but you can see we did get 200 of our Dragon Trial stamps. I'm going to go ahead and buy a piece of their gear. Now, a lot of players have been asking where exactly we get the gear. This is it, guys. We did get, I believe, 2 free chests, but we are only getting 1 chest out of here right now because, of course, we bought everything else out of there, which means that Gwen is going to pick up another piece of gear. So I'm going to go ahead. Let's go for the helmet. I'm going to remove the helmet. We're going to go ahead and equip the gear. Oh, I think I have to open it out of the box. Let me grab the helmet. So she is strength. Let me make sure. I'm almost positive she is a strength-based hero. She is strength, and we need the helmet. So let's hop in here. Let's pop this one open. We're looking at strength, which is our third one right here. That is our strength-based helmet. Boom. Go ahead and pick that one up. One more piece closer to being completely done. Then, of course, we're going to build it up. And the second one we're going to look at is actually Adrien and Elise. It has come to the point, and it has come to my attention that I want to run through their skills and abilities and looking at a lot of different game modes. They're being used in the Curse Realm. They're being used in the Nightmare Corridor. They're being used in the Treasure Scramble. We're actually seeing that hero in a lot of different places. There we go, guys. 3 pieces of the Tier 4 gear. Now, of course, looking at Adrien and Elise, overall, I don't see the appeal and the effectiveness of the hero itself. I don't like the design of the hero. I guess I would probably put it that way. But this is a hero that we're going to have to build out, again, to maximize the effectiveness of this hero. And of course, I'm not sure if it's going to be wasting resources at all, but we have to take this hero to a plus 40 signature item. So it is going to be a very, very big investment on this hero. And I really have a hard time doing it because, again, of the ability. But when you look at what the hero is being used for, how the hero is being used, it's kind of incredible. It's pretty impressive with how the hero, again, is being used in a bunch of different formations. And I did want to build the hero out just putting the tier 3 gear, which we know stone-wise, we have a ton. Guys, we have 41 tier 2 stones and a lot more than that. We even have 74 stones right there. So when it comes to our tier stones, you get to the point of just accumulating them all. And also with heroes, you get to a point of accumulating kind of all of them. But there's the tier 3 gear for Adrien and Elise. Now let's break down this signature item. Now we have said this kind of since the beginning. So looking at this, in the unlock of the signature item, Adrien and Elise deal 20% more damage to enemies in the back line of the enemy battlefield. So again, this is kind of the invade piece of it. Adrien and Elise, if they invade, they are doing 20% more damage, which we know this hero doesn't do much damage. We've tested it out. We've seen it. This hero specifically, Adrien and Elise, doesn't do much damage. So after dealing damage to the enemies in the backline of the enemy battlefield, the erosion is increased to 40 points. Not too impressive with the 10. This is where it gets kind of interesting. The 20, Adrien and Elise deal 60% more damage to enemies in the backline of the enemy battlefield. That's right. So again, if it is an invade, they're doing 60% more damage instead of the 20% more damage. So as you can see, that is a massive damage buffer out there. Now looking at the plus 30, this effect also applies to allied heroes in the backline of the enemy battlefield. So again, thinking of the awakened version of Brutus, thinking of Scrag, thinking of this hero, thinking of anyone that is going to go on the enemy side, on the enemy backline of the enemy battlefield, you are going to have that 60% more damage to the enemies that are back there because the effect also applies to allied heroes. And then the plus 40. This effect applies to all allied heroes. That is right. In a formation with Adrien and Elise, they are getting a 60% more damage to enemies in the battlefield themselves. So it applies to all of the allied heroes, which again is kind of the reason why we do want to build this up a little bit further. And a lot of players said with this missing, this hero does nothing. Short of possibly the invade team, but we're not really seeing it at all. So just like we've said before, when it comes to building out these signature items, there is a very specific way, which I want to share with you guys again today, which number one is right here. So when you're going from level 30 to signature item level 30 to 31, you are going to use your epic emblems. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to use some of these. Boom, there is the 31. Now looking at the red chest, looking at our light emblems, these are going to be level 32 all the way up to 38. So we're going to actually go through and use some of these. And of course, we're going to go through a lot of these very, very fast. So as you can see right here, the signature item is a 37. We're going to do one more. There is the 38. So at a 38, to go to 39 and to go to 40, it is imperative that you use the epic emblems. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use these. Boom. And unfortunately, we don't have enough to go to 40. So as much as I don't want to, I am going to go ahead and use these red chests, taking this hero to a plus 40 signature item and applying the effect to all allied heroes. Now, like I was saying earlier, when you start looking at different formations in the game, and not really for everyone to build this out, but when you want to min-max, when you're looking at improving scores within the Cursed Realm and the Nightmare Corridor, when you start looking, and we'll check out Chan, for instance, right here, look at the hero composition in here. We have the Awakened version of Baden, which is awesome. He's still being used, but we also have a fully built Nyla right down here, and we also have Kelthan. So again, pretty competitive in that area. Now looking here, we have a fully built and maxed out Hildwyn, which of course is coming in at number one for this formation. We also do have Amelia. When you start getting down here though, there is Shuna right there, and then of course Liberta. So Shuna, especially important to have. Then you get into some of the other formations, the Awakened version of Shamira right here. Pretty broken with Edwin. We have Lady Simona in there. Then, of course, this is a staple, which, of course, is Gavis and the Awakened version of Belinda. And then looking here, we do have Ron, and there is Adrien and Elise, allowing the Awakened version of Athalia to have that damage amplification factor, as well as everybody else. So I know the Awakened version of Athalia will go on the enemy side, but we are seeing Adrien and Elise being used in a lot of different formations. And again, I want to use this hero, and I want to see the effectiveness. Boom, go straight into the Burning Brute. So both of them are on the enemy side, and they are stacked. Now, of course, Demia and everybody else in this formation is getting that damage amplification as well, which is really cool to see. And guys, just look at the damage. It is crazy how fast the damage comes through. And of course, the Burning Brute cannot kill us because Demia has a collection on there with her immunity, with her skill. So as you can see, where normally the heroes would die, which Adrien and Elise just died right there, but normally they would die out much, much faster. This is why this player, Ellen, is actually number one within here. And even looking at the sheer numbers, guys, 24 billion damage, but that does stack into a first place. Now, of course, looking at the Nightmare Corridor, we are seeing the exact same thing. So looking at our players in here, again, the original version of Baden, kind of interesting in there. And there we go. So this is another one where when you're looking at the heroes, you are giving this buff to the Awakened version of Leica, which of course is going to stay on the allied side, but it doesn't matter because we have the plus 40 signature item. So she is still getting that boost in there, meaning that our enemy right there, which is kind of crazy, Conrad, is going down in a matter of like 16 seconds, being melted to the ground very, very fast. So I'm going to have to go through and I'm going to spend probably 10 more diamonds. I'm going to do 10 more attempts on both of these, seeing if it does make a big difference on where we're parked and how effective these heroes are actually built up to a plus 40 signature item. Might have been a waste of resources. We're going to have to see exactly how it looks. But all right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about these two heroes. And as always, thank you guys for watching.